Alrighty, welcome to day 29. Today we are going to finalize moving the needle, and I'm going to introduce you to a concept that just makes sense. When you want to achieve anything, whether it is health and fitness goals, overhaul your nutrition, fix your relationships, up your income, feel better about yourself and your confidence. Maybe it's your communication. Maybe you want to grow your social media. Maybe you want to start a hot side hustle. Maybe you want to get along better with your husband or your kids. Whatever it might be. There's a certain area in life, or there's multiple areas in life that you want to work on. And I think that it's really smart to continue to self-assess that. And so whenever I do a self-assessment, I try to not only think about, and this is not a self-assessment that's coming, but I try to think about how immersed I am in what I'm doing, and any time that I am all in what I'm doing. And when you think about it in the sense of, if you want to learn a new language, what is the best way to do that? There's a couple options. There is reading a book on the subject. There is getting someone to teach it to you. There is like audio and you can listen to it. Or you can go to the freaking country and have to figure it out. That's immersion. The concept of immersion is that you basically dive in and you're all freaking in. And that's really my hope of what we just went through. By the time we're done this, 31 days of total immersion where you're focused on you, even just for 5 minutes a day, sometimes 10. I know that some of the videos were longer, some of the videos were shorter. We were all over the place, but you stuck with it. You are still here. That's immersion. You focused on you and your goals and your dreams, and you moved the needle every single day on something. So I want you to think about the power of going all in and the power of doing that and the compound effect of doing that. Like how much further you'd be if you did this for another 31 days and what that next month would look like. The other thing is whenever I'm learning something new, so over the past, 31 days, when you're absorbing this information, or whenever you're absorbing any information, whether you're reading a book or you are doing a workout or you're doing anything, if you absorb it with the intent to teach it and to share it, it makes such a difference. And that was one of the things that I learned in being a coach. Anytime that I did any training, whether I attended a Tony Robbins seminar, I would take notes with the intent of sharing it. Eventually it became take notes with the intent of bringing my humans there, which we did and eventually do, and we're doing it again. But I wanted to be able to soak in information with the intent of reteaching it. So whenever you're learning this stuff, if you're taking notes and you're writing things down with the intent to share it with either a spouse or just re-look at it later, or to share it with, maybe you have a team of employees and you want to think it through, that's how you will retain the information so much better. It's going to make such a difference. The other thing is to share it. And that goes for fitness. That was really my journey with fitness. When I started sharing my results and sharing my progress, even though, there was some people that thought it was weird, it's cool. You have ownership on that. You know what you're doing. You know your truth. You're good. You're not hurting anybody. You're there to motivate and you're there to inspire and you're doing good things. But when I started sharing it publicly and sharing, like, this is my workout of the day, this is my progress. I couldn't do a push-up 3 months ago and now I can. And I was measuring it based off of not just physical stuff, which I loved. That kind of sealed the deal because there was a certain level of accountability there. So sharing it and teaching it. And the third thing, and this is going to scare you because this gave me a lump in my throat whenever I did this, but I did it. And I'm sure that if I asked them, oh my gosh, I wonder if I asked them if they would laugh. So I tried to think of two of the scariest people that not just scary because they're scary because I respect them. Two of the most scary people I know on the planet. And I don't know if you're this way, but I was very much like a kid that just wanted to please her parents. Like if my parents are proud of me, that I'm the happiest kid in the world. And the worst is when they're like, we're disappointed. That's the worst. So I want you to make a public promise. It can be to your parents. It can be to your spouse. It should be to someone though, that it's a little bit scary. And I don't want it to be in the form of like, a random note. I want it to be like not a Facebook message. It should be, the best would be a phone call and a conversation, but it can be written in a text or in an email, but let's make it a little bit formal. So I did this 7 years ago, and I wrote out a public promise to, I would say my two dads, Andre's father, because I've been dating Andre forever, and his dad like half raised me because I was always at his house, and my own dad. And I sent them both a different, like their own version, but ultimately my goals, what I wanted to achieve in the next 5 years. And it was scary because it was like, I really respect these people. I love these people. These people have both been incredibly successful in their own life, in their own relationships. And I basically gave them the vision for what I wanted to achieve. Now, because they're dads, I kept it really point form and as concise as I could. And I just put out, this is the goal that I have for this. This is what I'm going after. These are the milestones that I want to hit. And this is the deadline I'm going for it by here. And it was scary. And they both had the same reaction because I didn't know what their reaction would be. It was, you've got this. Now go do it. And I believe in you. Whew, that's emotional. But I did that. I did that 7 years ago. And I just don't think that you understand the power of what, I was not supposed to cry. I don't think you understand the power that you hold and how much greatness you have inside of you until you unleash that and until you kind of go outside your comfort zone and do crazy stuff like making a public promise to people that scare the crap out of you. So take the time today to write that out and write out your future, because you could be sitting somewhere very similar to this a few years from now being like, I wrote out this outlandish vision for my life and handed it to someone that I really respected just out of sheer accountability and making that public promise. And I did it. I made all of those crazy things happen. It's a heck of a ride and it's a heck of a feeling, but don't sell yourself short, because if I can do it, you can do it. And it's just a matter of zeroing in and immersing yourself and going all in for months to come, just like this. And I'm going to give you a game plan as to how to do that. But first, tomorrow we will self-assess, see where you're at and how to move forward from here. Bye, dude.
Let's go.